So I guess we will start the session. And so hello everyone. Myself Yunus. I'm I'm your Google Cloud Tech campus TDSC lead for cloud. And as we have done for intro session, in that many of you have got the email like this way. In that you will getting a email like congratulating you have enrolled. So I I guess many of have registered in that. So please, the after this session, if anyone has any doubts regarding the how to redeem the code or any difficulties to redeem the code, please contact me. And today session agenda is basically the hands-on labs, what we are going to do on Google Cloud, and the things which we are going to basically the more GCP services we are going to discuss about today's sessions. So those who got the email will be looking like this way at the bottom top right, sorry, at the right side of the screen. And those who didn't got the email, this may be the few reasons that the entry got rejected, or maybe they are referring a wrong account, or sometimes your email will be maybe in a spam folder. So do check in your spam folder, or just in the search bar you can search like Google Cloud. So you will be getting a email related same like this way. So in that you go to the you can redeem the code, and you can carry on the hands-on labs in the Google Cloud. So the roadmap for this session will be Google Cloud Engineer, and uh, the Google Cloud Engineer, it will be on available on Cloud Skill Boost account. If you have account, you should have first you have to need an account in this website to get hands-on labs experience in it. And the roadmap for the Google Cloud the roadmap for this session is Google Cloud Engineer. And we'll moving forward. Same, the Google Cloud Engineer, it will be looking like this way to you. This pathway not only it's a basic foundation level pathway, so that your you will be getting familiarized with each core services of Google Cloud, including how to set up, configures, and deploy your cloud projects or any cloud solutions to the cloud. So this was the roadmap, and the deadline to complete this roadmap is to complete before 14th of December. So please try to complete the path which has mentioned here in this diagram. So please try to complete all the pathways which has mentioned in here, so that maybe chances are that you will be getting a certification from Google if you complete all the modules in that pathway. So, and regarding the issues, if any issues you are getting, you can contact with this email support, or you can chat, you can like the Google Cloud Skill Boost account which I have showed you here. You can just you can just through the chat options email support, and if you log in through your I will just show you. uh, if you log in with your account, and if you just click on chat support, you will be getting a dedicated chat support. It will be live within 1 or 2 minutes, and they will be on spot your queries will be solved. So you can just select GCCP path, and you can ask the message they want, whichever issues you are facing it. So moving forward, same like if you are not getting any solution to it, please be patient. The support teams will reply you in a minute, and sometimes it may take uh, days to get a reply from them. So be calm, and just if you are getting any doubt in any of the module, just go to the next module and try to complete it. And also you can contact me also if you are facing any doubt. I will just resolve your issue as soon as possible. And so regarding today's session, today we will be discussing about what is compute service in the Google Cloud platform. The GCP is a short form for Google Cloud Platform, and what are the storage services in Google platform, and the security features, and IAM. IAM basically stand for identity access management. And at the last, you can I can have a Q&A session if you have any doubts regarding it. So before going to it, jumping right to it, we need to know what basically the cloud is, as many of are new to the cloud and they want to know what basic definition is. So cloud is nothing, just a metaphor. It's another word. Yeah, it's an interconnection of computers, or you can call a data centers or many servers, which used to store or compute information through the internet. Everything from the storing of data, compiling of data, and lots of various computation will be happening through the internet, that will be done by data centers or servers. So it that the definition is that is basically a cloud computing definition. So it's same, basically cloud computing is a technology that process to store, manage, access data over the cloud, rather than the data remains on the computer hard drive. So everything will be having that, basically store, manage, and access data. It will be happening in the cloud over the internet. So rather than traditional system, uh, it will be like, it cannot come as you know, the traditional system, they will be having a setup called many what we call servers, and the servers will be running on the local area. So chances, what are the so the benefits of cloud over the traditional services: strategic, you can plan according to your needs, and mm, you can set up your cloud environment. It's more secure and cost efficient, means whichever resources you need, that only will be asking to the cloud. And flexible, whenever depends upon your usage, the cloud will you increase your load, or you increase your computation area of storage, depends upon use. Or you can ask the cloud to decrease your computation or storage. And efficient, it's like it in an instance you will get your services done by the Google Cloud. So same thing, today topic is I am going to discuss about computing in cloud. So before going forward, like if anyone has doubt regarding cloud or anything, you just can ask me in the chat box, or you can open your mic and ask me uh, relating to the cloud and what basically it is. And okay, so today we are studying about computing. So don't worry, whatever things I am showing in the PPT or slides, I will be showing you hands-on experience. These things I am showing you as a theory part, because it's a foundation level, so that in the basic as interviews or anywhere, if they ask you, you will be having a familiar with this concept, so that at least you can speak to them something about these concepts and the topics. So moving on to computing is basically, in terms of general definition, is to process the data or automate a task. And what is compute power? It's a speed at which computer process the data. So this is now in the when we move to the cloud, there are IaaS, like the means whenever you will use your application, or you want to build an application in cloud, they are divided into four types. That is IaaS, PaaS, as PaaS, and serverless logic hybrid. So depends upon user which type of services he want. Cloud offers different types of services to the user. So today we are going to study about compute engine and little bit about cloud function also. And IaaS basically means infrastructure as a service. So you can see as here, infrastructure as a service, and platform as a service, function as a service. And before cloud was introduced, it was on premises. So the things which a company or a large organization used to have servers and data centers on their on premise, like locally they used to build a server. But when cloud came off, the technology has been changed, and these are the standard protocol which will be followed, that is infrastructure as a service, PaaS as a platform as a service, and function as a service. So what this basically means, like it's a very new word to you, and you are not able to know what these things are. So I will show you. So uh, infrastructure as a service means, if you can take a real example, real life example, what does means, and then I will go to a technical stuff what it will be explaining. So when traditional services means, if you can take a transport analog or transportation example, when you own a car and that is traditional, your own car. So when you own your car, you are responsible for your maintenance, for your insurance, and anything happens to the car, that you are only the responsible, and no one is can take care of your car rather. And if you IaaS infrastructure, it means you took a leased car, means the car is like second hand car, you can not leased car, basically it's from dealership you have taken as an agreement of 1 or 2 years, and you can you don't own the car basically, but you can drive wherever you want according to your need. But it will be a contract between the uh, borrower and receiver. So this is a leased car, and it follows IaaS as infrastructure as a service. And PaaS as a service basically means Uber or taxi. You don't have to think about taxi, which type of taxi you want. Basically, if your transportation is having if just you want to do a transportation from one place to another place, that is platform we use as a platform as a service. And it can vary from user to user. You can take from basic car to a limousine. And SaaS, it is a software as a service. As you can see, that is bus. It can basically it is available for all users, and it like there is no restriction that you have to pay to the organization before using it. And so the services, these are the main services. IaaS, IaaS, that is virtual machines. What is basically virtual machine? It means it's a machine which is been deployed or which is connected over the internet. Basically, if you assume if I connect my laptop over the internet and host to a somewhere IP address, and if you can access with my laptop with some IP address and commands, my laptop is basically a virtual machine. And moving forward, what is cloud again? You will be thinking like there are so many services and you will be overwhelmed with. So just think like infrastructure as a service means the things you are going to manage is operating system, runtime, scaling, and application code. Means you are going to decide your operating system of your machine, runtime, how much it should be scaled, and application code, the code you are going to write. And the rest of the things which are in green, that is operated by the cloud itself, Google provider, that is Google platforms itself. And platform as a service, as I told you, that virtualization, OS, and runtime. Basically, these are the provided by the Google, and Google is responsible to manage it. And we have to only think about scaling and application code. And hardware for software as a service, you don't have to manage anything. Google will be provide every like application code to scalings and everything, and data configuration. So why I'm stressing about this topic is, whenever you are going to make a cloud project, you should be aware of what type of, according to which domain you are going to make your project, that is infrastructure as a service, PaaS as a service, or SaaS as a service. So you will depending upon that, you can customize your app or scale your app according to your need. Now the best example for IaaS, infrastructure as a service, is basically AWS, Google Cloud, or Microsoft Azure. They are the infrastructure as a service. The platform for platform as a service examples are GitHub, Heroku, and Vercel, and many hosting platform. they will just allow you as a platform as a service. Basically a Firebase is also a platform as a service, and software as a service is basically the things which we are using. Google Cloud, basically Google things are YouTube's, Gmails, and slides, and every drive, Google Drive. So focusing on compute services, these are the things which are being mentioned in the core services in the compute, and these are compute engine, Google Kubernetes engine, app engine, cloud function, and cloud run. So here we are going to discuss only about cloud compute engine and cloud function. And according to the syllabus, I am just covering about cloud engine and cloud functions, and this this three things, that is Google Kubernetes engine, app engine, and cloud run, are not in the, means they are not more they are not concentrated. So just I'm going to concentrate on these two topics, that is compute engine and cloud function. So moving to compute engine, basically as I told you the example, it's basically a machine which is hosted online and run online on a Google's infrastructure, and it can be varied according to you. You can which type, how much amount of CPU power you want, how much RAM of allocated you want, or how much space you want. You can allocate yours according to your need. So this is a sketch for you to better understand what is compute engine, and to get a brief like to get a mind map how, okay, compute engine works in Google Cloud. So as I told you, there is predefined, and there is a custom. So predefined means already Google will be providing a templates of machine that you will be selecting, that is one core of CPU you want, and RAM, how much GB of RAM you want, or basically you can customize as you need. And this machine can be classified into four types, that is general purpose, compute optimization, and memory optimized accelerator. And these are varies according to the user need. And I will be showing how in practical way, I will be just in 5 to 10 minutes I will be showing how to do how to select different kinds of machines, and how does it creates. Basically when you select the CPU version and memory, not only you have to just by selecting CPU and RAM, it doesn't mean your virtual machine is deployed. You have to select the region, in which region and zone you want, and machine type, basically the machine configuration, so that your machine will be properly deployed in a specific region, and it will be accessed over that region by over the internet. And these are about the pricing. You can just tell the Google's, I need for 1 year of, you can make a contract with the Google Cloud, so that I need in this 1 year of span, I need 5 virtual machines or 10 virtual machines, or this amount of virtual machines, so that you can get a discount from them. Or you can commit the Google Cloud that you are going to use this much amount of virtual machine, and depending upon that you will get a discount on. So the use case of the virtual engines are compute engines are about these websites, database, containers, Windows app, and legacy monoliths. Basically legacy software, it supports to the legacy software to shift from their on-premises, basically to their on-premise data center to online. So if a company want to shift from their local, they did want to try cloud, and they want to shift to the cloud, so they use legacy monolithic apps, and they integrate with compute engine. Another important thing is, as I showed you here, compute engine is done. Now we will go to cloud functions. Cloud function is basically serverless, and as you know, serverless is very trending. I think many of you have heard like serverless, at least. Uh, so what you will get about the idea when you hear the term serverless? It doesn't mean that it doesn't have a server. Like it doesn't mean that it doesn't have server. Means it is fully, the server is fully managed by the Google itself. That is auto scaling, no, and the infrastructure, you don't have to worry about the infrastructure, and according to the your responses, it will speed up. Basically the things that is the backend part, or the monitoring your OS, configuration of OS, and many hardware stuffs that will that you don't want to like you are not good in that, and you don't want to deploy your app in that. I want Google to take care of it. I don't want to set up my hardware and virtual machines networks, then operating system license and everything. It will be a really heavy job to customize by myself, so I will just tell the Google that I need a compute serverless compute, so the rest of the things, that is hardware and other scaling, auto scalings and everything, will be managed by the Google itself. Only the compute you have to just upload the code, and that's it. Your function, cloud function, will be ready. You just have to mention a code basically, like you can be written in JavaScript, Python, or many other popular languages. So this app engine I will just introduce. It's a basically it's a fully managed containerized application. Basically, for basically it will use a backend for many if many high level applications. If you are going to build backend can be powered by app engine. And cloud run, it's basically related to containers. Run containers on fully managed. What are containers? Containers are basically a isolated system. It's like a virtual machine, but it will be having its own operating system and its own memories and hard memories and resources allocated to it. So today we are only focused on cloud function. Cloud function is basically event driven, means if something happen on the website, then only cloud function is running. Like someone has clicked on the one button or something they used on login page or something dashboard they have clicked, then only the function will be executed. Or till then it will be a on idle. It won't do any work. It will be silent in the background. Whenever user click on it, the function will be running it. So this is the illustration how cloud function is working. So whenever events happen from the cloud services, it will just tell to the cloud function that something event is happening. Then there will be a code that write back to the cloud services and other APIs, so that the monitoring of logging of data will be happening in the cloud. Which user has asked for which permission, so you can log, and according to that event, the function of that APIs or website will be working in. Same thing, this is a sketch for cloud function. You can just go through it. As I told you, it's a event based. You just have to focus on your code. The rest of the things are managed by the Google itself. You don't have to worry about hardware and any other infrastructure. You just have to focus on your cloud. And the cloud function can be integrated with Firebase and cloud storage and other Google services. Like it is it has no limit. It can be integrated with anything you want. As I told you, just write here cloud function features. No server management you have to do. You just write the code and it will be executed. And as I told you, not like it has variety of languages, that is Python, Node.js, Java, and there are some security features embedded in it. And pricing is also like pricing basically serverless. Like it's important how many the events, the number of events if user is asking, and how much computation is happening, and the data transfer. According to that, you will be getting the bill. So don't try like if I as a personal experience, I don't share your cloud function links or anything online, so that if you just shared with anyone, they can just put any attacks to the cloud functions, and number of requests they can do it, and so that the billing cost of your cloud function will be increased exponentially, and it will be difficult to manage the budget of your cloud. And same thing, the how it has been powered of, it can be used with storage, machine learning, BigQuery, and a lot of stuff. So I guess I completed the compute storage. So if anyone has doubt, they can ask me, or I can go to the next session, that is cloud storage. Okay, so I think everyone is following along with me, and I will be just going with cloud storage. Mm, okay, so I think we'll do some hands-on experience what basically the cloud compute engine is, because it's so much of theory. I know it will be a boring to explain and listen to it. So I will just show the practical experience to you how cloud compute engine will work and cloud functions will be working it. So this sketch you just remember it. The same thing I will be showing you. Okay. So those who are new, just you go to Cloud Skill Boost account. I will just showing you Cloud Skill Boost account, Cloud Skill Boost website, and you just log in here. And those who will be like successfully registering the as I've conducted first session, and who has redeemed the code, you will be getting as a monthly subscription. That means you can have and you can attempt n number of labs. There is no restriction for you, and there is like it's unlimited credit. Basically you can attempt any lab, any session you want. Depends upon your interest. So for this GCCP campaign, we have to need cloud engineering path. So just click on the paths, and you will be getting a cloud engineering path. Click on it, and okay, so mm, click on the skill batch, create and manage resource. If you have completed, you will be getting a like you will be getting a green check mark. So okay, virtual machines. So whatever things I have discussed in the PPT, we'll just see the practical implementation. What is basically here? There is a video for you for getting better understanding of virtual machines. So one thing to tell you, the campaign I'm like the virtual machine. Sorry, the compute engine which I have tell you, it will be coming under virtual machines. And for getting familiar with virtual machine, you will be at least you should be having familiarized with Linux operating system or basic Unix commands, so that you will be getting to know what things are going to work. uh, so it's basically must I like I you don't want to be knowing full Linux, but at least 50% of Linux will be better to understand the thing in this Google Cloud, because cloud is fully based on Linux. And if you don't know the Linux basic commands and don't know how Linux will be working, it will be little difficult for you to understand. So the best way to learn Linux is use virtual machines, or you can use online compilers, online terminals and everything. uh, me, I will suggest you best way to learn Linux is the use to learn the Linux. And you can use the VMware, like you can install VMware in your operating system. Like it's a software. There you can learn about how what like basically Linux, how it will work and everything. Like this way you can just have to download a Ubuntu or virtual machine, and you just have to run in this operating through this software, so that you will be getting a virtual machine. So uh, according to this pathway, I'm not focusing on Linux topic because it will be little overwhelming to you to get started. So I will be focusing on how to create everything on the Google Cloud Console, and wherever the commands will come, I will explain you how what command is basically. So moving forward to practical. So whenever you click on start, you will be as I told you last session, it will be creating a virtualized environment for you. And in this environment, the student ID and password will be a temporary according to the 40 minutes time, and you will be having a unique ID, that is project ID. So if you click on open console, I use another account, you just copy it. Next, password, I understand the accept the terms and condition. So again, I guess, huh. terms and condition accept. Okay, so this is the dashboard for Google Cloud, Google Cloud Console basically. Wait a minute. So this is a dashboard. As you can see here, like n number of services will be happening, and today we have discussed that is compute engine. As you can see, compute engine is very vast, and uh, like it has so many services including in it. So today only virtual machine will be focusing on. So click on compute engine and go to VM instances. So here nothing they have like no if you have more than virtual machines, you will be having this. Here it will be showing how many virtual machines are been uh, uh, you have created. So we'll click on create instance, and according to the lab. So the best way, or the I think the best way to complete labs and everything, you just see the task. First you click on overview, you just come to know what you will going to learn about this in this lab, and just see we are going to learn about virtual machine, how to create virtual machine with the Unix command, and how to deploy our app or basically a web server in it, and to see it. So you just go on task 1. As I showed you, you click on compute engine VM instance, then click on create instances. If I click on create instances, they mentioned here lab name. So I recommend, or it's compulsory to follow the things what they mention in the labs, including to the name till the region to the till the zones and everything. Now here new concept is region and zone. Basically region is basically like if you assume a region that is US, it's a region, and in US there are many different zones. That is a that it will be conveying as ABCD. So like North California, and that is another New York, then like many zones in the region, many different zones, like different types of places where servers are allocated. So we have to use central US one, and region zone is as central 1A. So we'll name as JCE lab. Here will be central US one, central A1. So as I told you, it will be ABC. Just go through the what they mention in the lab. That is now here E2. E2 basically it's a machine, which type of machine, like CPU version you want. Like our Intel, it will be having i3, i5, i7. Same thing, they will be having different CPU versions in it. They mention as E2. You select name of the series, CPU series. Here same in I. If you see, if I compare with real life example, if you want i5, okay, you got the i5, and generations basically latest. This will show us the latest generations, and here the basically it's a CPU. What type, how much powerful CPU you want? That is basically cores, or how many cores you want, and with the along with the memory, that is RAM memory. So they told two CPUs you want. This is 2 CPU, that is standard 8 GB of memory you will be getting. Okay, E2 medium, it is correct. Then that is bootable disk. Bootable disk basically the operating system which you are using in this virtual machine. Mostly every like 90 to 95% software which are running on cloud uses Linux. Rarely they use Windows and many others other operating system. So if you want to change operating system, you can go through here, and you can change here the public image. Basically there are many already image in the what we can tell in the cloud itself. They have been deployed. Depending upon that you can use. So see, the operating system are different versions of Linux, different versions of Linux, and same thing, what how much size you want, and everything you can select it. Just keep out default. These are the things related to the APIs and security things. And here are firewall. Basically firewall, you had somewhere firewall in your computer and anywhere. They are basically firewall basic definition is to control the traffic or to control the amount of accessing the servers or some particular service to the people. It will just control how much amount of people should be accessing the same your virtual machines, and like it will restrict to the users. So I think you have to allow the HTTP traffic because to check our traffic, to check our website if it is live or not. That's why we are taking HTTP. Uh, that's it, I guess. Hmm. So we will be just creating. Click on create. It will take some time to spin up the machine, and it will just little time it will take. Just be little patient to get the virtual machine live. Okay, so we'll wait for a few minutes. Audio training it is currently unavailable. Alternate you can use. Okay, zone. I think it was a problem with zone. Let's see. Mm, where till then the virtual machine is spinning up. If anyone has doubt or anyone has any issues like any doubt regarding this session, you can ask me in the chat box. Okay, it's giving error. I will delete the machine, and I will just create a new. Okay, GCE lab, US Central, US Central A, machine type 2 CPU. Okay, GCE lab, US Central 1, Central 1, US Central A, 2 CPUs. That is it 2 GB of CPU and 4 GB of RAM instance? Okay, okay, this only. The default one I have selected for 8 GB, so it was giving me error. It was medium, I have selected standard. Okay, and same thing, allow file HTTP, the HTTP traffic. So there was little bit changes in the CPU version, so that's why it was not able to create it. And whatever things they mention in the lab, please follow it. Otherwise, if you didn't follow some the rules from the lab, chances are that you will be restricted to use the lab. And same thing is coming up. What not a new project has default resource quota may limit the number of CPU you request when you work on outside the project. Okay, just wait a minute. AC to medium to 4G, or I will restart the lab. I think there is some problem with the lab. It is student 00 EC8. Why it's giving? It's not giving access. Okay. West one, so the location has changed, region and zone. GCE lab, West one. Okay, West one A. Series is E2. Name of the series is E2. 2 CPU, that is, this is EC2 medium. 2 CPU, 4 GB RAM instance. EC2 medium. Okay, same EC2 medium, 2 GB. Okay, allow fire, HTTP fire. Okay, so I think lab problem was the last time. It successfully created the virtual machine. Sometimes the like zone problems may have come to deploy the applications, and even doing some labs. The thing, sometimes it may go for maintenance, and I'm telling, like, from my experience, when I like when if you sometimes the lab will go for maintenance and you won't have access to it properly. So if you are going to complete at the pathway, if last moment, if you are going to complete it, sometimes the chances are that labs will be going to maintenance. So please complete before the deadline, so that you won't face any issue like this way. So now our virtual machine is created, and if you click on this GCE lab, you will be getting a detailed information about everything about the virtual machine and IDs and everything. That, as you can see, the CPU and everything. And when you the if you the main thing of any services, cloud services, that is uh, budget and cost cutting. Like whenever you use any services, just stop it after using it. This is a student account, so there are no charges and everything. You don't have to worry about it. But being basic about the services, when you will use, after using it, just stop it or delete it, so that basically majority people will stop it, so that they won't get any charge from the website. And they told to SSH is basically uh, secured shell hosting. Basically you log in to the Ubuntu using SSH. If means over the internet, you are connecting the database, the virtual machine is already in Google Center. Now you are logging through your computer over the internet. So I am establishing connection SSH. Okay, so okay, now we have to use a Linux command. What basically you have to install a web server in it, and you have to check if it is working or not. So before any Linux, like if you first install the Linux or anything you have to do, first you have to update the software, that is sudo apt update. Sudo basically means admin rights. You want to need the admin rights that you are running as a admin. And apt is a package, like package manager for like Windows. There is a Windows what was it, Microsoft Store. For Android, that is App Play Store, and Apple is App Store. And same thing for this is apt get, that is application installer. So just update it. Okay, it has updated. Now basically I will just clear the screen. Same thing here. uh, this is same thing, we are just installing a new Ninjix is a web server for hosting your applications and everything. And what is -5? Basically it's just an argument that if they ask anything, like whenever you install a software, they will ask you a permission. Do you need to install, yes or no? So that's why I'm passing -5 as an argument as yes. So you just enter it. Okay. Okay, it means this command is basically to check your software is installed in your in your this application, that is in your VM. And it give me same output as mentioned here, that is Ninjix worker processor, means it's working it. Now you don't have to like, it's deployed on basically when you own a machine on the like you are connecting the machine over the internet, so they will be having two IP address. IP address is basically internet protocol. This internet protocol will is a unique number that every machine have over the internet, so that it can be identify by any one person, and they can connect to it. So when I click on this external IP addresses, anyone can access it. So when I click it, it will just show me welcome to NinjaX, and the server is successfully installed in it. And as you are thinking why we are using this server, majority of applications are deployed on this virtual machine, like the as you can see, websites are popular websites uh, W3 schools or any, they have deployed on this instance, or many popular blogging sites and everything, they have their own VM, that is virtual machine. In that they have deployed their application, so that they can access their web pages and web related things. So this was building virtual machine using console, cloud console, just clicking on the GUI, that is basically on the icons, and creating the virtual machine. But as experienced people, they will use command shell, that is this is the command to create it, the virtual machine. Now I forgot to mention you, whenever you will make a new virtual machine, uh, through GUI you can make it, or there is a pop, wait a minute. If we click on equivalent command, same thing, you will get a command for it. You just have to paste it, and you have to run in your cloud shell. What is cloud shell? Cloud shell is basically terminal. uh, it will be linked to your that is clouds link to your account, which they have mentioned here, that is student 001 quick labs ID, and which will be having a unique project ID. So so this is cloud console. So whenever you run cloud console, you have to two things that is like mandatory to run, that is gcloud. Gcloud is basically a cloud keyword for running a gcloud commands. Auth list, basic auth means authenticate myself, list means from the list you authenticate me. So whenever you enter, it will just ask you you are authenticate or not, authenticate user or not. Just authorize it. Your ID that is mentioned, you will get authorized. Now another command is gcloud config list project. So this gcloud is a keyword to access the gcloud command. Config is a configuration file will be happening in the Google Cloud itself. In that I want to list the project ID. So the project ID which they have mentioned here, that is GCP 01, you can see the same thing they have mentioned here. So this project ID will be unique for each labs whenever you turn on. And now we are going to make a virtual machine using this command. So I will be explaining this command, that is gcloud means as I told you, to access the services in the Google Cloud, we first, it will start with Google Cloud, gcloud. Compute is basically a wait, I will show you. In Google Cloud Console, you need a compute, like compute, in that compute you want in Google Console you want compute engine, and in that you want instances basically you want to create a virtual machine, and you want to create it. That is create If you go on VM instances, like it's instance that they have told and create. It will go on create, and there you have to click on name, machine type, basically what type of CPU you want. As I told you, there will be a different types of CPU, and afterwards zone I told you. So just copied the thing, copied the command and run it. Okay. Okay, so this means your web like your computer engine is already installed, and they will give a link that uh, same thing like wait a minute. It's a API link. It will be just telling which at which name it has been deployed and everything. They will be mentioning IP addresses. IP address is very crucial because it will connect my computer with the computer which is working which is hosted on the cloud. And okay, and okay. Mm, if you click on here, like check my progress, it will be tick mark, or the best way to see from here is uh, from here they will be telling the task. Okay, so you have to check you have to make a I guess I have made a create instances with the Google Cloud, basically from shell. And after now you want to connect this machine to, like, this second machine with this uh, with my laptop, which I currently running. I will just like copy this command, or this command, same thing, that is SSH. SSH is secured shell hosting. It's a very common word if in Linux, or very like in open source Linux, it just provide a secured shell login that they can connect two different computer over a network. So I'm mentioning I need a GCC lab 2, and if I run the same command, it will ask yes. Password I don't want anything, so just enter I am doing. It will create a SHA and RSA. Basically, it's a unique identification number that every machine have over the internet. So as you can see here, dollar symbol indicates you are in the machine itself. And I think who command, if you run it, you will be getting your user ID, and who is basically who are accessing the PC, like user. So it is the same, that is student is that is EC8392, same user. And like if I want to upload anything, I think okay, so this compute engine basically focus on computing the resources. Means it will just compute the amount of data allocated to it. It will just process it. The main thing from the word itself is compute. So the amount of CPU processing and everything, like major output handling and performance of CPU will be handled by this compute engine. So this was all about virtual machines with their with practical, like with theoretical knowledge and practical implementation. And I think lab is also completed, that is 100, and you can test your knowledge. So through which of the following ways you can create a VM instance? From both way you can create. Oh, that's it. It has ended, so you can end the lab. So you can close the tab also. Okay, so this was a compute in virtual machine, that is compute resource. As from the name, as I told you, just compute the resources whichever it has been allocated. And okay, I guess time is up, or I will just little describe about the storage, what basically it is. Now for storing of data over the internet. We use GCP, Google Cloud. GCP storage is Google Cloud Platform storage services. And okay, and the key features of storage are as follow. They are secure, means directly it is encrypted. No one can access to your data unless you. It's durable and always available 24/7. And same thing, what are the use case? It can be used in app development. It can be used as backup recovery option. You can create a pool where you can classify different types of resources according to your need. So there are, as compute engine, as I told you, there are different types of machine you can use. That is general case scenario and like compute engine where it went. There can be a different type of compute machines as I here according to user need, that is general purpose compute optimized, memory optimized. Same thing, the thing which are storage is also having different types of storages. So these are many storage, there are many storage services. So don't get intermediate like how I can learn this much of storage. We just focusing on this cloud storage in this topic in Google Cloud Engineering path. The rest of the things are not covered up in the pathway, so just know the names what they are and what they will do. In memory is like to hold the data in the memory. So to process the data at very fast, we use in memory. Relation is relation storage, that is relation database. We use Cloud SQL and Cloud Spanner. Same thing for non-SQL. Basically, it form in the data is stored in the form of documents, in the form of unstructured way. Uh, so we use Firestore and Cloud Bigtable. BigQuery also we have used. BigQuery is basically to query the data from large warehouse. Like it will be a pool of data, and you want only some amount of data from it. So we use a BigQuery for analytics. And cloud storage basically unstructured data objects of blobs. Blob is binary large objects. Basically any type of data you can store. It's there is no restriction to it. So these are the different types of how data is stored in the cloud, that is object, block, and firestore. Object is basically through metadata and meta tags. Through the internet it will be stored, and it contains video, images, and documents. Same for block storage. It through ID it will be stored, and through the ID only it will be communicating it. And file storage basically is to store the data in the form of files. So this is all about cloud SQL, cloud storage, and how different types of data can be stored. As you can see here, PNG, that is a different type format of images, then videos and other text images also you can see it. And how does it works? Same thing, like in cloud it will be a bucket, and in that bucket you can share your images and everything. And these are the main things. That is standard, nearline, cold line, archive. How much period of data you want to store, like how much duration, how much days you want to store the data in cloud. It depends on which services you have to use, that is standard, nearline, cold line. And standard you have to use websites and everything. Nearline you have to use backup option for any disaster recovery or any backups. And same thing, the use case of Google Cloud is like this way. And this about the blobs, object storage, and block storage, file storage. And these are the things you need to consider for while building your app. Is if your data is unstructured, that is if your data is unstructured, you go is the question yourself, is your data structured? No, it's not structured, so use cloud storage directly. If it is workload analytic, means a large amount of data analytics you want, then go for big tab. And in that also you want data to be fast, you want at the minimum like latency you want, you go for cloud storage. And these are the decision tree. I don't want to go about because these are the things not covered in the cloud engine, but just get to know when to use which storage. That's why I'm telling you. Okay, so Just in 5 minutes I will wrap up the session, and just I will show you how cloud storage will be happening it. Okay, you go to, okay, it's not here in the second pathway, perform infrastructure task in the Google Cloud. This only this one. So I didn't cover up cloud functions because cloud functions, for making cloud functions it will take 5 to 10 minutes, and because of time constraint I was not able to show you, because you have to code in the cloud function, and like to validate and everything, it may more than creating a VM instance time, more than that deploying a cloud function, it will take a time of 10 to 5 minutes. So I didn't cover up cloud functions. I will cover up in the later session, upcoming session, how it will be useful to get just basic idea how everything works in the Google Cloud. And this also the things, the cloud storage can be made through CLI, that is Google Cloud, like terminal based, and through command based also. But I am focusing on console based. So let's. This is the Google Cloud, as you can see, the Google dashboard. Same thing, I have used the login IDs and logged in. In this you can see the cloud storage. It's stored in the form of buckets. It's like you can tell, for it is just a folder in which everything will be stored. Click on create. Here nothing, you just, it should be a unique, so sometimes you can put your name also. I'll be keeping my name Yunus one. Bucket is already taken. Yunus 123. Okay. Same thing here, which type, any services which you are deploying on cloud, they will ask the region to you, which region you want to deploy, that is multi-region, dual region, or single region. I'm clipping, living in default storage. Here also, as I told you, standard, it is we just going to use standard form because it's very fast, and we'll get fast access to the data. And enforce in public access means, if the link if I share to you guys, you can also access to it. I will just show what it is. Like I will just create it, and I will put an image. I will upload an image in the cloud. Okay, so the first task is completed. You just, okay, create a bucket is completed. Every bucket must have unique, yes, to all of the functions, cloud storage, cloud line. So we are going to upload this image. Already I have downloaded and kept. If you want to download, just save image and just download it. But I already downloaded, so whenever you create a bucket, so it will be just looking like this way. Here you upload a file. They mention in the lab basically to upload an object in the file, and it should be named as kitten only. So any file you upload, and it should be later you can rename it to the kitten.jpg. So I think I already have kitten. Okay, kitten.png. So as you can see here, it's completed, kitten.png, and you just check it, uploaded on the Google Cloud. Same thing, like a GUI part I'm showing how you have to do. Check my progress, you do. Now the fun part, like if you want to share this thing with the people, you have to just allow it as a public access. So here you have to permissions. Okay, permissions. Wait, I will just read permission principal, grant access. Okay, here only grant access in that. You need cloud storage object weaver. In this new principle, what we have to add as all users, the name as all users, and here I am selecting as I need a cloud. Basically, this is a security feature. Clouds like IAM that I told you that I will be covering in future session. What is IAM? Here you just cloud storage in that object weaver. Is it correct? Okay. Save you do. Allow public access. It will give a warning that if anyone with the link, if they got the link, they will be able to see your website. So, sorry, image. Okay. You just refresh the page. See this. You will get a link. Copy URL. And if I paste it here, you will getting a kitten. You can check in your device also. Like I have shared the link. You also have. You can also see it has been uploaded in the cloud. Now the question arises why you can upload on Google Drive also and so many other things. But the main point is in Google Drive there are restrictions like I think 15 to 5 GB you have to, there is a limitation, but here there is no restrictions. You can like terabytes, petabytes of data you can upload it here. So I think publicly I have shared it. Okay. These are the things you can create a folder and you can delete the files in it. These are optional things, but also you can create a demo. You can take demo folder. In that you can upload a file. Okay. Cloud image I will be uploading. Same thing, it will be reflected here. And if you want to delete it, check mark on it and click on delete. DELETE. It will be deleted. From here notification also you can see 0 object deleted, 1 folder. And I guess that was all about today's session. I hope everyone have learned something today new and they enjoy the session. And as always, the path to complete this boot camp or the campaign is 14th of December, and this is the link I will be that is path/11 to complete the cloud engineering path. So that's it. If you complete, chances are there you will be getting a certificate of completion or from Google itself. So try to complete it. Later part security I will be taking in next session, uh, or I can wrap up. Like you can get a brief idea what it is. Basically to restrict the user, like basically, uh, or maybe I will take another session because it's too long and more than 1 hour I exceeded. So thank you everyone for joining it today. And if you have any doubts and any issues or anything regarding it, you can just ask me. Okay. Any Q&A session if you like, I can answer it. If any doubts if you have, or else I will wrap up the session. Okay, I guess you can leave the guys. Okay. Thank you for joining. Hope to see you in next session. Thank you everyone. Thank you Zed. Thank you Nandini. I hope you enjoy the session and hope learn something new today. So we will meet in next session. I will be updating about it in the group itself. Please join after it. I will be updating about it in the group. So till then, bye guys. Just leave the meeting. I can't end it.